So my name is Adrian Somoza, and I run a Bond Club program, which is basically for freelance web designers looking to scale their freelance skills and their design skills to have a financially peaceful career and a creatively challenging one. So my life prior to the AA was a little bit a while ago, but let's see. I was working part-time as a designer, offering services, right? And basically selling my time. And my goal was to detach, selling my time and transition to selling value. And that's why basically I started this business, and then I got to a point where I was stuck and I wasn't being able to scale. Um, and then that's when I decided, okay, let's get some help. It's apparently more difficult than I thought it would be. Let's get some help from people who know what they're doing, who have been through what I'm going through, and can help me accelerate my growth. After enrolling, what I found is that I was really focusing on the wrong things. I was focusing more on things that weren't really creating leverage for me, things that weren't really tackling the most important KPIs in my business. I didn't know what my KPIs were. I didn't know, how to track them or how to diagnose what the problems were. Um, but after learning how the business should be run, right, and after 2 years of trial and error, um, you know, I did I did see pretty quick results, because like slower than I thought, because I was like thinking I would, just blow up in a year or two, right? But it took me like a little bit of trial and error. I'm still learning how to get there, but the point is that I think it was like I kind of quit my part-time job. I think in 3 months after joining the program, and I have been an independent business owner since then, and I've been able to just cover every expense I have in my business, everything I want to achieve in, like, for example, I took a lot of holidays. Recently went to Korea with South Korea with my wife and kid, right? We kind of took a lot of time off. I took it a little bit more chill. I'm not working 8 hours or 9 hours a day. I'm just working probably around 6 to 7 hours. Um, and I'm slowly but surely, I'm scaling the business. So it's not magical, right? It's like I thought it was going to be more magical, right? Because I think we have like a wrong conception in YouTube from other people who are just saying like, how to become a millionaire in 1 month, right? And so I kind of had like the wrong mindset, I think, in terms of how was going to roll out. But I can see year by year like a consistent, pretty big percentage of growth in my revenue, right? In the sales, my closing percentage in terms of sales is 20, like they teach us here. So we have to get to 20 at least. So I love those markers because they are pushing me always to strive for more and learn how to become better at the whole process of being a business owner. Yeah, so some tangible results. For example, I was sharing this with the members of the AA recently. I recently hit 21K in revenue in 1 month, right? In 1 month. So that for me, I remember like I was telling this to my wife recently. I remember like maybe 4 years ago telling her, and we were just dreaming of this life that we have now, right? And I was telling her like my goal, right? My ultimate goal would be to get to 20K months. And I know this is possible because I've heard a lot of people do that, but I didn't know how to get there. And to be celebrating that milestone, right? Now I need to work on making that a consistent, like my consistent average, in terms of revenue, right? But at least hitting that number one one time, right? For the first time, let's say, for me is a breakthrough. It's a milestone, and to me, also a reassurance that it's possible, right? Because I had this goal 3-4 years ago, before, like 2 years before enrolling the AA, and 2 years later, after joining the AA, I hit the first month with a revenue goal. So I know this is possible. It's just a matter of time and of just scaling, by following the process. Yeah, so I would definitely encourage anyone who's in the fence, right? Thinking about whether this is a good investment or not. To me, it was a great investment. I've seen the return in, a few months of the investment. I'm sure it's different for each person, but for me, it was like that. And I don't consider myself like the smartest student in the room. Like, there's definitely people who have hit like bigger numbers than me, but still, like, with the capacity that I have, right? I still was able to see a huge return on the investment. So, what I tell to the people I talk with in my sales calls, right, is that when you think about when you're thinking of the price, you want to think of the cost in the long term rather than the cost upfront, because the cost upfront might be a little bit higher, maybe even than what you thought, maybe not, maybe you knew what this was about, but um, you know, to me, the cost upfront, I would much rather pay the cost upfront than the cost that it will, the cost in the long term. I hope that makes sense. But basically, it's like you pay it upfront and then you earn the returns throughout the years.